Super. BS.
Well, howdy doody that, my Brosefs. We are back. It is I, lovable baby boy Brand, coming back to you from the literal dead. I have reawoken. I'm ready to bake some bread and break it with my ever compatriot. Who am I talking with today?
I am Brank's physician, Dr. Hindsight. And
Dr.
what
Hindsight, nice.
what I really want to know here is why were you at Disneyland licking the handrails, kissing the customers?
Well, I was trying to follow the guidelines. The guidelines state that before you enter every park, you should kiss 50% of all other people there. So, and it says mouth, tongue only. So I mainly, do open mouth, tongue, just to get real. I want to stay healthy and wise and wealthy.
No, that makes sense.
So I did all those things.
Healthy, wealthy, and wise. That's good.
old liar Fauci himself, he's telling me to do all these things. I get sick. And I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
Fauci, man, you told me to go kiss all these people and to lick them and do all these things. And next thing you know, I'm sick, and he's a liar. So that's all I'll say to you guys. It's on the podcast now. They will not cancel us for calling the head of the CDC, Antonio Fauci, a person who told me to lick everybody I saw. And this is on the record. On the record, you can find this. Now we're not allowed to go to Disneyland anymore. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, just ruined it for everybody. Jeez, one tongue just ruins it for everybody.
Before I came down with the sicky poos, I did watch Captain Marvel. I was about to say Captain Marvel. Black Widow. That movie was good, man.
It was pretty good. Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was probably the one that I enjoyed most since the second Captain America.
Yeah, I would have to say it's probably one of my favorite superhero movies. One of my favorite Marvel movies, I should say. I still don't think it holds a candle to like the Batman movies. I was about to say the Black Knight, the Dark Knight series. But yeah, it was great. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought Scarlett Johansson did great. I thought all the characters they made, like what was Red Guardian? Like that guy, David Harbour is just so funny. Like he was such a good actor.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I dug it. I've also been gaming because getting sick can't keep you down. Have you been gaming at all?
Yes, actually, I've been playing quite a bit, just checking out various offerings on Games Pass, and found some things I like, but also some things I might not go back to. So who knows?
What's some stuff that you liked first? Tell me about a game or two that you liked before we get to what you don't like.
So I liked, we talked about this off the cast, but I like Carto.
Yeah, Carto's neat. It's like a puzzle game where you set up the world.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it reminds me of the little puzzles. As a kid, like we used to go to like Taco Bell and stuff, and they gave you the little like slide puzzles. You got to match up the different things. Like that's what that reminds me of, and I enjoyed it. Like my wife got frustrated watching me like fail constantly to try to put the things in the right places.
Oh no! Why didn't you let her try? She might have been able to do it.
I did, and then she got frustrated too. Like, is this part where you go into this little tree and you have to match the little paths underground? You send a worm through to like break up some debris for you. Yeah, she's getting frustrated watching me try to do that. Then she tried to do it, and it didn't quite go the way that she thought it would go. So.
Yeah,
is keeping us on our toes, man. I'm on chapter 4. I don't know how many chapters it has, but it is probably something I'll go back to at some point. And I am, it's fun. It's fun. It's a nice I guess calming game to sit down and play. It's not too, you don't have to really invest too much into it.
Yeah, I played chapter 1. It seems like the game's very short. I don't want to reveal how many chapters there are, but you're on your way. I don't think I'll play any more of it, but I did enjoy what I played. It wasn't like a bad game. It just, to me, it's like that perfect Game Pass experience where it's like, yeah, I played the beginning, tried it out, really enjoyed it. Didn't really need to play anymore. Speaking of something like that, the big title that Microsoft released this summer, kind of their big AAA, their 10 out of 10 title, Flight Simulator, finally came to Series X.
Right.
And
you go flying? You take any trips this week?
I did. I flew over China. I wanted to see if I could visit some of the places I went to. However, the flying is very slow because it's very realistic, and I could not find a way to pull up a map, so I couldn't figure out exactly where I was flying. Mm-hmm. So I kind of just stopped after about 10 minutes. It's a beautiful game. The tech is like incredible, but you played it a little bit too, right?
I did, and it's a game meant for people who like flight simulators. Like I don't think it like it looks good on console, but I don't think it's for console gamers. You know, like a console gamer is not going to buy a flight joystick and practice piloting. Like I can see why people love this game, but it's just it's not for me. You know, like I loved the 20 minutes I played, and then I was like, all right, well, there's not really much else to do because, you know, there's no objectives to hit. You're literally just flying, and that's all it is. And
I think there is an objective mode you can play, but yeah, it's not like that's not the type of game it is. And I agree with you. I turned it on. I thought it was neat. I played a bit. I probably will not touch it again. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it's there and part of Game Pass, like, if I ever know somebody's coming over and I want to really, really show them something impressive, you know, I can download it again and like boot it up because it really is impressive. Like, especially if you go to a city where you know what it looks like and you look down, you're like, whoa, okay, this is like crazy that they got this much detail.
Yeah, the cityscape actually looks real. Like it looks like it was something taken from like a satellite camera or something. Like it looks very.
That is what it is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, okay, that's what they asked you if you wanted to do at the beginning.
Yeah, there's no texture. I was flying over Italy. What's the Naples? I think it was.
Yeah.
And there's no textures in the buildings. Like it's all real. There's no video game textures. Like it all looks like it's real time. So it's throwing me off. I wasn't quite sure what I was doing there.
Oh, I thought you knew that. Yeah, that's one of the things that makes it so impressive. So that is all satellite imagery, and they use like a 3D modeler to scale it up so that it actually has geometry and weight. It's incredible. I mean, like I said, that alone makes it such like a powerful tool, if you will, you know, just the idea that you can literally fly anywhere and see accurate cities to date, like they're accurate today, you know, they just grab this satellite data and then put it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played a little bit of that. Is there anything else that you checked out on Gaming Pass?
Yeah. So I played Raji after you and our friend Dr. Donna had told me it was on Games Pass. I downloaded that. I don't know. There's some things I like, some things I don't like. I don't like it enough to keep playing it. Getting used to the top-down view is hard. It's something I never was able to adjust to.
Yeah.
The combat is fun, but they even playing the game on easy difficulty, the combat is so hard that it just takes a long, or it's not hard, it just takes a long time to do, you know, because they give the enemy type so much health that you literally have to just sit there, hit, dodge, hit, dodge, hit, dodge, hit, dodge. And this, it takes probably, the bigger enemy types take probably anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes to take down because they just have so much health and your attacks do so little. And it's possible that as you go through the game that you get stronger weapons and it takes less time to take them down. But looking at the way it's scaled now, I don't see that changing over the course of the game. One thing that it's a beautiful game. Game looks really, really beautiful. The story is really great. I love the music. But I guess it's just I don't like those top-down style games. And one thing that I know if there's another game, they'll probably go to doing cinematic stuff. But I didn't like how they would let you do stuff, and all of a sudden they'd switch to a story thing where it was character puppets, dancing across the screen as they're telling the story. That was one thing that was kind of distracting.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching a trailer right now because I didn't really get to play much of it. I saw the original trailer when it first came out. Yeah, it looks really beautiful. It looks really cool. It's definitely a neat thing that's part of Game Pass that you can just turn it on and say, hey, I don't like this, or maybe you'll fall in love with it,
Right.
But yeah, did you get a chance to try out the Ascent? That is something that I've been playing. That's been pretty fun.
No, I have not. Like we talked about playing the game. I don't. Is it? Can I play it by myself? I was under the impression it's just a multiplayer game, so I was waiting for you guys.
No. Yeah, no. I mean, it's probably way more fun multiplayer. I haven't played a multiplayer yet. I've only played a single player. It's a kind of like a top-down twin stick shooter where you kind of like aim where you want to shoot, and then you run across a landscape. You level up. It's
like, kind of like are you talking like a Gears Tactics type game?
Well, I mean, it's not turn-based, so it's like it's full, real time. Like you run around, you shoot. I would definitely recommend playing it. Hopefully, you and I will get a chance to try some co-op here soon because it's fun. I really, really do like it. I think I hit a bug. Like I was trying to move the story forward. I went to a place I was supposed to. I was supposed to kill some bad guys, and nobody showed up. So I need to return it back on, but. Before that bug, I had a lot of fun. Like I think there's something there. I'm not a huge twin stick shooter guy, like Diablo style, just like smash stuff. There, it just doesn't really, impress me.
No,
I'm not.
It doesn't
it's not
resonate.
It's not something that resonates with me at all. So we'll see how far I get into it. But I think it's a really well made Game Pass game so far. Like it's probably one of the better ones I've tried.
Yeah, and I'm seeing, I'm hearing good things about it, and like I see a lot of people on my like Xbox friends list who don't play a lot of games outside of like Call of Duty and Forza, and they're all jumping into the Ascent. So I'm assuming that it's very welcoming to gamers of all types.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very simple game, so I think most people can play it. I mean, you literally run around as long as you can use both joysticks. So, like, some people would probably still struggle with it, but one, moves your character, the other aims, then you just use the right trigger to shoot. There's not a ton there beyond that. I mean, you can, like, upgrade your characters in Cyberpunk world so you can add augments and stuff, but so far I've yet to see or do anything that's like, wow, this is really, really neat. It is very much an indie game, a game made by a very small team. It's a beautiful game, but it's still like a game made by a small team, and I think it's definitely worth trying. Did you have anything else you played recently that you want to share about?
Yeah, so I played a game that we have joked about on the Super BS Games cast for years, ever since we first started this little venture back in, I think it was like 2017 we started doing this.
What is this? I'm curious what you played.
And if you go back to the original episodes, you can hear us actually like making fun of this game at least once per episode.
Okay.
Tales of Vesperia.
Oh, not Vesperia. We made fun of Tales of Brosefs.
Oh, Brosefs. Okay, so I played the Tales of Vesperia remake or remaster on Games Pass.
Tales of Berseria. That's the one that we made fun of.
Okay.
That was so we made fun of it because it was like just it's supposed to be like the hot chick, and it was like really dumb. It came out right around the same time we started.
That's right.
Yeah, Tales of Vesperia is that the 360 game?
Yeah, it's a 360 game. They put a remaster out on Game Pass you can play.
Yeah, on Switch and Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah,
it's okay. I played it. What do you think of it?
I don't know. Like it's very anime-ish, but it has it has like it has a feel-good aspect to it. Like it's not overly complicated, and you kind of know what you're doing without having to really learn how to play the game.
Okay.
So I appreciate that. But I mean it's a game.
It's not that good of a game.
Yeah, I might play, depending on like my time, I might play a little bit more of it. I'm like an hour in, but it's not as bad as I thought. It's not as bad as or like cheesy as I thought it would be. Definitely Atelier Ryza is a lot more difficult game than this one is.
To get into, or just more challenging,
just to get into, and just story-wise, like that's a game that's made for the anime fanboys, Whereas this game seems like it's built a little bit more for like the casual RPG fan, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I mean the Tales games I don't think are bad. I've just never been a big fan of them.
I know there's a new one coming out, right?
Yeah, Tales of Arise. Yeah, I think that is a September release date. Yep, September 9th. So we'll see if that's good. We'll see if that also comes out this year. This has been the year of games being postponed.
Pushback, yeah.
I will say I did pick up one title in the last 2 weeks, and I finished it. I have not 100%ed it. I don't know if I will, because the 100%ing of this game is really difficult. But it's a game called Death's Door. It's a top-down, Zelda-like action-adventure game, and it's great.
Hold on 1 second. You're recording your audio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I forgot to click go live. My audio is recording. I have it all. We're just going to go live right now. All right, there we go. For those of you who are just checking out this video, I forgot to click the stream button. So we're about 15, 20 minutes into our episode here, and Brank is just talking about how much he loves the Tales games.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I wasn't talking about Death's Door, the game that I think is actually good.
Yeah.
People, you didn't miss anything, okay? You just missed old Janky Poo yelling, blah, 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 I love Tales games. That was what he literally said.
Yeah.
They're my favorite games, and I only want to play them from now on.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Death's Door, which is actually an incredible game, is worth playing. It is like a spiritual successor to Hyper Light Drifter, a game that I absolutely loved when it came out in, I want to say, 2014. Hyper Light Drifter might be...
Then just say it.
It might be a little bit later than that. Oh, it's 2016. But yeah, it's Death's Door is great. I still, because it reminds me so much of Hyper Light Drifter, I still have to say there's, place my heart for Hyper Light Drifter slightly more than Death's Door, which is good. But yeah, Death's Door is this, top-down, combat's kind of difficult, not maybe as difficult as a Souls game, but kind of that level, and you walk around and you got to kill 3 different bosses, and they'll give you different abilities when you kill them. Anyways, I beat the main game and I did a lot of the extra stuff, but there is a lot. I mean, you have to kind of follow a guide to 100% the game. So I don't know if I'm going to go and do all that, because there's just a lot left in the guide.
Yeah.
Like I did quite a bit of it, but let's put it this way. The game takes about 5 to 6 hours to beat normally, and then I think there's about 4 to 5 additional hours, if not more, after you beat it worth of content going back through. So it's almost the full length of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's worth playing though, right? I think
the game is incredible. Yeah.
What's the price point we're looking at on this guy?
It's $16.
$16. So is it worth that $16?
Oh yeah, it was. No doubt about it. I mean, the game was so incredible. I guess $20 it says on Steam, but I could have swore it was $16 on Xbox. Maybe
but so like, I feel like with, a lot of people are getting Games Pass just because they can play all these games, but they're not, you hear a lot of media outlets making complaints, right, about games having to pay for certain games, but I don't think people have an issue paying for them as long as they supply the content, the content that justifies the price tag.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a problem at all paying for Death's Door. I thought it was great. I mean, if it would have been part of Games Pass, that would have also been great. Great, part of the service. It wasn't. It was still an incredible game. It's only on Xbox and Steam, so I picked up on Xbox, and yeah, it's wonderful. One of the best indie games I've played this year. Honestly, it's probably my second favorite game of this year. I think I like it more than Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, Village is still my favorite game I played, but yeah, Death's Door is just it's the music's incredible. The story's pretty interesting and neat. It's easy to follow. It's not you don't have to do a ton to stay focused, and it's just enjoyable. The art style is also just really phenomenal. Reminds me a lot of like a Studio Ghibli film. Like there's a lot of character in everything. So
the music was really good in the trailers. Watching that go down was cool.
And the game's made by 2 people. One of the dudes who makes it is also the musician. It's like an incredible team. They made a game called Titan Souls that came out on PlayStation 4 and Vita years ago, where you pretty much just killed like a very simplistic looking 2D game, and you just killed bosses, and that was the whole game. And that was pretty fun too. But yeah, the company Acid Nerve made Death's Door, and yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about it. I think it's really one of the best indie titles to launch this year, which is saying quite a bit. I haven't turned on Chris Tales, which people seem to like, but
yeah, that one's on Game Pass too. I was thinking about checking that out, but
yeah, It was slow when I played the demo a year or two ago, but the art style is also beautiful, so I'm going to try to give that one a look at one point. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff on Game Pass, and there's like 4 more games coming out this month, or 3 more games coming out this month. Hades, Psychonauts 2, and there's a...
Psychonauts 2 is actually a game that has not been released elsewhere yet, so this is like a straight to Game Pass game here.
Yeah, well, yeah, they have like Game Pass has like a huge lineup this year. I'd say every month they at least have one, if not 2 big titles. But if August specifically, they have a title coming out almost every week, and it's Hades first, and then what is the next game? There's like Hades. Oh, nobody's posting it. That's the most frustrating thing. There's like a perfect lineup of games coming out, but you can't find it anymore because people are only talking about the games that have just been announced. So I apologize, but yeah, there are 3 big games coming this month, and none of the news sites are talking about them. So I can't even tell you what the third one is besides Psychonauts.
Let's see. So you have new to Games Pass in August. You have Curse of the Dead Gods, August 5th. Dodgeball Academia, August 5th. Katamari Democracy Reroll, August 5th.
I found it. Finally, I had to go through IGN, and they were the only ones who had this. So those games are all cool, but the big 3 are, so August 13th is Hades. August 19th is 12 Minutes. That's that indie title. And then
that's right.
August 25th, the 12 Minutes is one with Willem Dafoe and Daisy Ridley and James McAvoy. And August 25th is Psychonauts 2. So like every week they have a big title coming out. So sorry, it took me a minute there, but yeah, so weird that everybody's like only wanted to talk about Skate coming to cloud or whatever. It's like, wait, what? You couldn't talk about all the
more.
Yeah, there's a lot more stuff. But yeah, man, it's Game Pass. I think is going to be our lifeline to gaming this year, as we've just seen kind of like. I mean, I guess we can just mention it, but the rumor is, Horizon's not coming, something that you and I have talked about a lot. I didn't think it was going to come.
What?
Oh, man, Horizon Forbidden West, it might not actually show up.
I know. I
can't believe it.
I was so hopeful, man. Like, we talked about this on, like, every episode. I'm like, but Horizon's still going to come out. And you were like, no, it's probably not. And you're just an absolute buzzkill, man. This is why
I'm the reason why it didn't come out.
You got sick from licking those handrails, man. Karma was coming at you hard right there.
Yeah, this karma for me, kissing and licking. It is, it's coming at everyone real hard. But no, this Horizon Forbidden West, we all kind of knew it wasn't going to come out. They wouldn't put a date on it. The one I'm kind of concerned won't come out because there's still no date is Halo.
Nope, don't say it. Nope. I don't want to hear it. It'll make it. Master Chief has never let us down before, except last year.
Oh man, I hope it comes out. I saw some of the footage. Did you watch any of the test flight, as they called it?
Yeah, I did. It looks choppy, and it might just be the videos I was watching, like of different people playing it. It looked choppy to me. So I'm sure that's just like a build version of it, and it's not the final product. But yeah, it looks fun. Just assuming it runs smooth. Like you look at like Halo Reach and Halo 3, the multiplayer feels very smooth. It all flows very well, and like this one looked like a demo. And I guess that was my only complaint about it.
It's a beta, and people seem to be enjoying it who are playing it. The thing that kind of bummed me about what I watched, and I'm just hoping it's something that's just maybe not until the main release, is I didn't see the grappling hook. So I don't know. I'm that was a big part of the trailer that made it look so cool. People grappling up to vehicles, grappling weapons. But the fact that it wasn't used at all, and I don't know if people could use it, makes me wonder how to use the grappling hook. So we'll see. We'll find out, though.
They're waiting to introduce the Halo Just Cause crossover.
Oh, man. That's what they got to do, man. Just Cause 4. Halo Infinite Just Cause 5. That's what they'll have to
be called. Cause Hooks Evolved is what the game's going to be called.
Cause Hooks Evolved. Nice. Yeah. I don't know, man. Even if the Halo multiplayer makes it out this year, I just don't have faith in the Halo single player, just because I feel like we still haven't heard a lot about it at all. But we'll see. There's still Gamescom, I think. Is Gamescom still happening this year?
And PAX. I don't know if PAX is before Christmas or not, but I know PAX is happening. And
Gamescom is at the end of August. So Gamescom is probably when, we'll get a date for Halo if we get one. Because, I mean, we've only got, 4 more months left this year,
Yeah. And I know, like, there are things coming out on Games Pass, but I almost like feel like Halo needs to come out because it's already been delayed once. It's already fallen victim to the fanboy culture. It needs to like get out there because I feel like if it delays any longer, like people are going to start losing faith in it, and that's not something I think Microsoft can afford with a franchise like that.
Yeah, I'm interested, man. I'm interested to see what's going to happen this year. This is shaping up to be the slowest year in gaming ever. I'm curious if next year will be better than this one. I'm hoping it will be, just because we've got so many titles that slipped, Breath of the Wild 2, and hopefully a new Mario game, because that hasn't been announced for forever. I mean, Super Mario Odyssey was 2017, like the real, true 3D new game. Halo has been pushed back. Sony has like no games coming out this year. Like, I mean, if you look at their front, it's like Ghost of Tsushima expansion and Death Stranding upgrade, PS5 upgrade, director's cut, if you will. Nintendo has like a title coming out every month, but a lot of those are, I don't know, the quality is wavering, in my opinion. They're not like the highest quality games.
I agree. Do you know who else had a release pushed back recently?
I have no clue.
McDonald's, actually.
Oh, nice. That was incredible. I saw the picture of that.
Did you hear about what happened with this?
Oh, it was like something that McDonald's Australia was just making in private, right? They hadn't even talked to Sony about.
They hadn't spoken to Sony about giving the controllers away. It's for like this streaming charity thing they were doing.
Oh, okay.
And but hey, let's be honest, man. That's a really like nice looking controller. Like I wouldn't mind having.
I'd pay
one.
for 2 of those, man. I mean, as long as I get. Can I customize it so I can get the double on each side, just in case I'm maybe not as big a fan of the fries?
I was hoping I could replace like the shapes on the buttons with chicken nuggets.
That would be good. Yeah, chicken nuggets. For those of you who cannot watch this live, we are looking at the McDonald's PlayStation 5 controller. It is missing a few things. I don't see a large size cup anywhere on there, so I think they need to add that back in. And a few, I think they need to just add some more stuff. There's not enough stuff on this controller. It's not busy enough. So this thing's crazy, man. I mean, just looking at it, it's like, I don't know why anybody would spend the time making this. Like, it is ridiculous.
This is supposed to be like a limited run. So, I mean, this is one of those things. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it'd probably be worth something someday to the, the collectors.
I guess, yeah. Sure. I'm sure it's worth something to someone someday. Speaking of something that's worth something to some people soon, Playdate. You know what the Playdate is? That little crank console?
No.
It's
the
like
little Game Boy looking thing, right? Is that?
Yeah, and you run it by using a crank. So they sold out in 20 minutes. It's $179. If I remember correctly, it comes with games pre-installed, and then you can update games by connecting it to the internet. And there's games made exclusively for it by indie developers like Lucas Pope, the guy who did Papers, Please, and the Return of the Obra Dinn, and a bunch of other people. And yeah, man, it looks like it could be really, really neat, but we'll have to wait to see, because it's just not. I mean, I don't think it comes out till next month. I can never remember. It's so hard to find the dates on any of this stuff. Nobody ever likes putting the dates. Like, hey, it's sold out. It's like, can't you put the release date?
Just tell us when it comes out. Yeah, I saw. So I also saw got a little pop up on Instagram about a phone case called the Play Case, and it actually has like a Game Boy layout on the back of the phone case.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that? Like you take the phone, you have the phone, you flip it over, and there's a Game Boy right here.
Oh, that's
you
cool.
know, your camera is still there, but like it's a Game Boy screen and a Game Boy button pad. I don't know how it's supposed to come with like 25 games and you can put more on it.
Weird.
It's just kind of it's weird, but it's like, I don't know, it's very innovative what people are doing with these like retro gaming machines nowadays.
Yeah, well, anyways, the Playdate doesn't have a date, so I had to search separately. They say it's later 2021. It's one of those things I think is neat. I did not pre-order one. I think $179 is way too expensive for what appears to be like a Game Boy, where like I would gladly pay for the what is that Game Boy called? I forget its name every single time. The oh man, do you remember the name of the special Game Boy that even Elijah Wood wanted to get and nobody could get their hands on? No, I take it you don't remember it either.
Analog Pocket.
Analog Pocket, thank you. I will never be able to remember that name. I've tried remembering the Analog Pocket's name every single time. I would love one. I can never remember the name. And that thing's $20 more. I would much rather have that. Plays tons of different games from different consoles. It looks beautiful, and you can buy a dock and play it off your TV. But yeah, that's just, I can't believe I can't remember that name. I guess it's just because it's so basic analog. Like, it's just called Analog Pocket. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it reminds me so much of the Game Boy Advance SP. That's why I've been like really excited for it. Anything else stand out to you news-wise this week? I feel like we're going to have a little bit shorter of an episode because it's been so just weird. You know, there's the Blizzard stuff that we don't really have a lot to talk about, and that's kind of the whole video game news cycle. You know, some stuff happened at Blizzard. I don't have a lot to say. You know, I'm not an employee there. You know, that's the stuff sounds bad. That's all I can say. You know, like, I don't know.
It's so hard. Like, at first I was, wanting to say, also there's a picture of the Analog Pocket on the screen for anyone who's watching.
The Analog Pocket looks beautiful.
It does look really nice. It's hard to say for sure, like, what happened or didn't happen. I was leaning towards the fact that, like, maybe there's some kind of misfire between the management and the employees, but now all this evidence is coming out and I'm like, oh, maybe there wasn't. This is exactly what it sounds like.
If that evidence is true, like, then there's obviously some horrible junk going on, and it shouldn't take place anywhere. But yeah, like we said, it's just not. It's just so weird that this is what gaming news has become. Like,
it's bled into the mainstream media too. Like, this is being reported on everywhere.
Yeah, so I mean, the one thing we can report on that we actually know is the president of Blizzard is stepping down. So that happened today. There's no talk of Kotick if he's going or not. That's the only other big thing I think that may happen. But beyond that, like, it's weird because there's so little gaming news, meaning like new games coming out, game updates, game releases. So, but there's obviously news happening in the gaming space with people, and I just don't feel qualified as somebody who, mainly likes playing games to talk about, what this company did. And, because I mean, I read quite a bit of the stories and it sounds sick, but I don't know. I don't know anything, so I'm not going to talk about them.
No,
you and I are.
Yeah, I mean, we're not qualified to be talking about it. We're not lawyers. So if you want opinions, there's a bunch of other people talking about this right now too. But
if you want opinions, you can find those very easily about this. Just type in Activision Blizzard. I'm sure it'll be a million opinion videos.
Again, it's unfortunate, but on the things that we do know stuff about, EA had a little show. Right?
Oh, wow. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, EA Play, man. It's been some time.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? Summer
It's
event?
just EA Play, I thought.
Is it EA Play? That was the old name, but I know they... EA Play Live. There we go. Yeah, they like changing it every once in a while. So
yeah, speaking of live, though, do you know what isn't live?
No.
Something dead.
No!
Whoa!
Uh-oh. For those of you who are watching this live, there is... it ended. There was a loud noise.
I muted it. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. For those watching, there's the trailer for Dead Space. This looks good, man. I really hope it is good. Like, I only played the beginning of Dead Space. Did you ever play the original?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, I loved so I finished 1 and 2. I didn't finish 3 for obvious reasons.
Was it not good or?
No, it made it so like so I love Dead Space for the single player experience, and Dead Space 3 made it to where like you had to rely on co-op to beat the game. And you also, if you didn't want to do co-op, you would have to do microtransactions to make the game accomplishable.
Oh, okay, that's sad.
And so I was not a fan of that. But it sounds like EA has learned their lesson, especially after the success of Jedi Fallen Order.
Well, also Resident Evil 2 remake
and
was what?
Yeah. But I mean, they're seeing the value of those single player experiences, and they have vowed that there will not be microtransactions in this, which I'm excited about. But yeah, no, I really enjoy these games. Do you have any history with them?
I mean, I played like 1 hour of Dead Space. I thought it was neat. I will definitely play this remake as long as it comes out and isn't a trash fire, But I hope it's coming out sooner rather than later. I don't feel like they gave us any details on it at all, other than that just Dead Space remake. So
yeah,
and we definitely need games. So like, it would be great if they had like it coming out in the next 6 months. That's not going to happen.
They did not. They didn't really. It doesn't sound like there's much. I don't know, being created yet of this game. Like, obviously, they have this cinematic made, but it doesn't sound like it's too far into production yet.
Yeah, that kind of makes me worried a little bit because, like, EA has had a really bad habit of showing, like a lot of companies, of showing things off way too early. They showed off Dragon Age 4 like 2 or 3 years ago. Don't you remember that?
I wouldn't do that.
And they just showed up concept art of it. And it's like still not even, they couldn't even show anything about it this year because it's still not ready.
Yeah, they've showed concept art and like making of stuff, and they still haven't shown like even just a legitimate like cinematic trailer for it.
Yeah, and I want to say Dragon Age 4 concept footage release. Let me see. I want to say that was 2 or 3 years ago now. So, yeah, let me see if I can find out when that was. No, nobody, because everybody has constant news. It sounds like at least a year ago, but probably way longer than that. And so we still don't know when that's coming out. We know nothing about that. So this idea that we've been shown Dead Space, but we don't know when it's coming out. We don't know anything about it. I have so little faith right now in the games industry. So this idea that they're going to keep pushing more just like announcements and have nothing to show is, I don't know, man. It definitely doesn't make me excited. It just
especially with like the climate right now. Like, we don't know what's happening with COVID and people going back to work and what might happen with this so-called Delta variant going around. So it's possible that, while 2021 was bad in terms of games, like, it's possible that this could go on, and like this Dead Space game, it looks cool and I'm excited about it, but it's possible, with all this stuff happening, that we might not see this game for several years.
Yeah, and at that point, you just almost wonder if these companies should just stop showing stuff, stop having press conferences, stop doing stuff till things are ready, because saying that Dead Space is coming out is cool, but who cares when it's like, well, it's coming out in 6 years. It's like nobody knows what's life's gonna be like then. It reminds me of that Suicide Squad teaser that we got. 2022 was what they originally showed.
2022. And the Batman game was supposed to come out this year, if I remember correctly.
And it's like, so 2022 at that time felt so far off, and I don't even think it's going to make 2022. I think it's going to be like 2024 probably.
Right.
So, yeah, and Take-Two announced that they're going to release games too, but I don't know. I just don't, what does that mean anymore? Like, they just said, like, we have a bunch of new AAA titles, and there's supposed to be a new 2K game revealed this month. But is it just going to be like one of their sports titles? So
I don't know. I'm not really like interested in a lot of the 2K stuff these days. So some people are speculating there might be a new BioShock on the horizon, but
yeah, I mean,
again, that's the same thing with like Dead Space. So like, you could say that, but we don't know what's going to happen.
yeah, like that's kind of the problem I see too. Is like 2K. Like I love Grand Theft Auto, which Take-Two as part of that company,
Right.
and I really love the BioShock games. So, like,
Yeah.
I would love to know if they're doing stuff, but if they're just going to show a teaser and then it's like 5 years out, don't do it. Don't do it at all. Just stop. Like, we don't care anymore. There are enough games to play from backlogs that we all have, but it's like, if you want us to be excited about gaming, don't just keep saying that something's going to come and then, not 6 years, but like 2 years down the line. Like, think about how long it took us to get Final Fantasy VII Remake. And who knows how long it's going to take to get the sequel.
That was just a tech demo for the PS4 originally, and then 7 years later we finally got it.
Yeah, and now how long are we going to have to wait for the sequel? How long is it going to be for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2? I mean, they haven't even announced it yet, and knowing them, that means it's like 5-6 years out,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, gaming is in a weird place. Sorry I sound so bummed out about it, but it's been a strange year for a lot of things, and then gaming is just been like, it's a place for I think a lot of people to go to when they feel like, hey, this is rough. And the fact that like all of these companies, I have no clue what's going on. Obviously making games is really difficult. So I'm not saying like, oh, why aren't they making the games? But it's like they're choosing to release trailers and get people stoked on things that are just nowhere near being done. And I think that is what's the thing that makes me upset.
Yeah, and it's, this might sound callous, but like you have situations like the Activision Blizzard and stuff going on at Ubisoft where like, it's not just the possibility of COVID messing with game development now. It's like these walkouts, and these employees refusing to do things until things are made better. And yes, they should be. Everyone should feel safe in the workplace, but it's just another thing you have to take into account when a game gets announced is that these scandals are happening more and more in the gaming industry. You never know when something like that's going to also affect the production of a game.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen to Blizzard after this? I mean, the one good news is you and I don't really like their games. And they haven't really done anything that special for a while. Diablo 4 looked like it could have been interesting, but beyond that, it's like Overwatch 2 was a PvP, or not PvP, a PvE-focused PvP game. Like, they had nothing really interesting that they were coming up with. But that being said, still not what I like to see as a company go to ruins. They made so many bad choices. They were on their way anyways there. But, I don't know, man. Gaming is in a weird spot. I feel like the same could be said of entertainment and media as a whole. So it's like, I guess it's not too surprising because beyond like getting superhero films, I feel like we've seen the destruction of all film. Besides getting the big budget blockbuster films nowadays from Disney.
And you know what I've noticed too with, on the topic of movies is the fact that you go on like Vudu or Amazon Prime or whatever, and you look at the new rental section, like there's still movies coming out. They're just not the big budget blockbusters, Well, it's all like, well, it's very, very indie flicks, but there's still stuff coming out. It's not good, but it's, people. I guess nobody filmmakers are now like getting their stuff viewed because none of the big studios are making movies anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that's kind of a bummer. I think before everything happened last year, the superhero and blockbuster films kind of changed the expectation for these film companies that they all want multi-billion-dollar, numbers.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like, the days of us getting, Road to Perdition style films, I think might be done, which is a bummer.
Absolutely, yeah. Nobody's gonna fund a drama. Like you barely even see romantic comedies coming out these days.
Yeah, you don't see comedies anymore because everybody's so scared of doing those too. Yeah, it is. It's weird, man. At least the cool thing is, for the most part, if you own these things physically, you can watch them, unlike me with It's Always Sunny, where one of my favorite episodes got pulled. So I couldn't even watch it, and I didn't even know till I tried watching it, and I was like, Wait, that's weird. I missed this episode where Charlie was a janitor.
They've been pulling a lot. Disney has pulled a lot of Simpsons episodes too.
Really?
Oh yeah, man.
I didn't know Disney pulled Simpsons episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Well, whatever, man. It's the future that we live in. So,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude. Well, anything positive before we hit the road? Because I think we need to end it here.
Okay, so as we all know, I'm an avid retro game collector.
Oh yeah. You got some new stuff.
So I got I got some Sega games, but last night, so I've been searching for like 2 years trying to get a copy of Guardians Crusade on the PlayStation 1.
Guardians
and
Crusade?
It's just, on PS1, and it's such a hard game to find because people who have it either are selling it without the manual, or it's outside the case and just the disc itself, or someone has an unopened copy selling for like $700 or $800.
Yeah, it's $300 for this one on eBay.
On eBay, yeah. So last night I was just surfing on eBay and I came across a copy, just a one that's in good condition, has all the artwork, the case is fine, the disc is fine. I came across that copy for $40. So I was like, dude, I can't not buy this. So I clicked on it. It's gonna be here on Saturday. I'm so excited because this is like one of the last one of my like must-have PlayStation games, because I got the Final Fantasies, I got the I got Brave Fencer Musashi. I got Legend of Legaia. Guardians Crusade is like my last like must-have before I just start adding random things to the collection. So I'm pretty stoked on this, man.
This is a cool looking game. I never played it. Was it fun?
Yeah, it was fun. It's like your typical RPG turn-based combat, but
I'm sorry, you need to actually get rid of its Activision, so I'm hoping you're going to do the right thing and burn that.
Right.
Right after you buy it, you need to turn around and burn it.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
But anyways, yeah, I'm just, it's exciting, man. Like I got worried that the cost of like these rare retro games were going to skyrocket after that whole Mario thing, but luckily I was able to grab this one at a decent price.
Yeah, man, it is a weird looking title. I'll have to give it more of a look later, but that's cool, man. Yeah, I wish I cared about collecting retro stuff. I still have all of my old games in perfect condition, but I don't know where they are, so.
Yeah. Well, some of the stuff like in box, like if you have the boxes and manuals, are worth quite a bit these days.
Yeah, I know. But you got to find them and you got to test them, make sure that the saves still hold. And the games that I have that like I don't want to sell. Like I don't want to sell my copy of Chrono Trigger. It's like one of my favorite games. All right, my bro, that is awesome. We will have to do an episode where we talk about your collection at one of these points.
Yeah.
Okay, till next time, we'll hopefully come back with hopefully positive news. Hopefully there'll be something else like Steam Deck, because that was cool. That was a fun episode.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.
Late.
Oh, yeah.